The Laws of Ascension, Chapter 98, The Box. What the fuck is that? Lorik shouts as a second creature appears. It crashed through the wall next to the first. It looks exactly the same as the first. The second creature turns to the first. The first creature roars before chasing after Lorik and Nixfang. The second creature follows after it with another roar. Both roars are oddly human. They sound like something that a human could do if they tried. The creatures are fast, both of them quickly gaining on Nixfang. Why are they so fast? Nixfang shouts before turning down a tunnel. Lorik turns and sees one fly past it, unable to stop and turn. The second one slams its claws into the wall, stopping it. Then it pulls, lunging toward them. It slams its claws into the ceiling of the mine and starts running along the ceiling. Lorik reaches out and casts Heavy Wolf Bite. A magic circle appears a few feet in front of the creature. Before running over it, the creature jumps off the ceiling. The wolf's head jumps out and bites the air as the creature flips over and continues the chase. Nick's fang takes another turn, and Lorik watches as the creature runs past the tunnel. Where are they? Nick's fang asks, her voice tense with panic and fear. I don't know. I can't see their auras. Lorik replies while looking around. After his hunt law reached mage level, Lorik's hunter's vision improved. He's now able to see a person's soul veins. He's able to see Nixfang's veins, but he can't see the veins of the creatures. He can't even see any aura coming off them. Lorik keeps his eyes glued to their back, making sure they're not being chased. We're almost there, Nixfang says before turning down another tunnel. She crashes headfirst into a creature that was running toward them. Lorik falls off and onto the ground next to her. The creature falls back, having not expected that or not being able to keep its balance. Nixfang falls, but creates a spear of ice and fire as she does so. The spears slam into the creature and knock it into a wall. Quickly, Nixfang says while getting up. Lorik leaps to his feet and runs to her. Before they reach each other, the ceiling above them cracks. The second creature jumps out of it and lands between them. It roars and turns to Lorik. Lorik casts Heavy Beast Paw on both his arms as soon as it appears. The creature leaps toward Lorik, too fast for Lorik to get out of the way. It tackles him, slamming Lorik into the ground. Master! Nixfang shouts before the other creature pulls itself out of the wall. It charges Nixfang as she creates more spears. Lorik grabs the creature's wrists. It had placed its clawed arms onto his shoulders. He kicks its pelvis and is shocked by how light it is. He kicks it up and over him as the creature squeezes down. Blood spurts from between the creature's claws before letting go. The creature turns to face Lorik as Lorik gets his feet under him. Blood drips from his shoulders. What the hell are you? Lorik asks, not expecting a response. The creature turns its head another 90 degrees again. There's another snapping sound, as if the creature just snapped its own neck with a violently quick twist. The creature rushes Lorik again, quickly closing the distance. It raises its left claw to slam onto Lorik. Lorik can't dodge, so he holds up his right arm to block. At the same time, he readies his left hand to attack. The creature slams its claw onto Lorik's arm, cutting through the gauntlets. His cape grew to cover his arm, but it didn't make much of a difference. Blood sprays on the stone ground as it squeezes Lorik's torn arm. It lifts Lorik up, pulling him by the arm with its claws still digging into him. Lorik slams his left hand into the creature's head. His own claws dig into the creature's skull. Black blood spills out, burning Lorik's hand through his gauntlet. The creature drops him and roars. Before it can regain itself, Lorik charges it. His right arm dangles limply at his side. Lorik slams his claws into the creature's skull from below. The creature's neck is too thin, so Lorik attacked right below the jaw. More black blood spills out, covering Lorik's face. Lorik keeps pushing, not giving it a moment to retaliate. He pushes knuckle after knuckle into the creature's skull. It's not until the second creature tackles him that he stops. He crashes to the ground on his side. Pain runs through him, following the feeling of his ribs breaking. The creature opens its mouth and roars. Lorik's hand is trapped under him, and he can't move his right arm. The creature places its hands on his right shoulder and waist, squeezing down on both hard enough to dig into his flesh. Just as the creature goes to bite him, the untouchable box appears. The untouchable box leaps out of Lorik's soul. It stops in front of the creature before it goes to bite Lorik. It gets stuck on it and tries biting down. The box doesn't budge, and the creature pulls back. As soon as it moves from the box, the remaining 4 locks light up. A bright brown light fills the mine shaft before fading. Where the box was is now a broadsword. The sword looks beautiful. It's covered in engravings of various beasts. The beasts are all chasing after the moon on the grip. It gives off a small brown light. The sword hovers in the air for a moment as the creature twists its head in confusion. Then the sword disappears from sight. It reappears buried inside the creature's ribcage in an instant. The creature goes to grab the sword when several magic circles appear around it. Lorik recognizes them immediately as his wolf bite spell. Phantom wolf heads leap out and bite down on the creature. They each grab a piece before pulling, ripping it to shreds. Lorik watches as the black blood sprays over the floor. Then it all fades away in a white light. A small purple crystal appears from the creature's head before flying into his chest. The creature's body and blood all disappear in the white light, leaving no trace. The sword hovers back over to Lorik before lighting up again. It changes back into the untouchable box before returning Lorik's soul. Nixfang? Lorik shouts after a momentary pause of confusion. He looks around for her before finding her. She's lying against the mine's wall with blood coming out of her side. There's a long claw mark along her side, and blood is staining her fur. Lorik gets up and stumbles over to her. She's still breathing, but she's not conscious. Lorik tries moving his right arm, but can't get it to budge. He puts his soul weapons away, removing the gauntlets over his arms. He pulls his green alchemy storage ring off his right hand. He uses his left hand to access it and take out his healing potions. Without his right hand, he has to use his mouth to open the bottles. He pours 3 of his low-level healing potions onto Nixfang's wound. Afterwards, he crushes a green mist pill over her, using his gravity law to do so. If he did it with his hands, it wouldn't work on Nixfang. Then he starts drinking his own potions. He only had 3 more low-level healing potions left. He had sold the rest, not expecting he'd need them like this. Lorik takes out his last green mist pill and crushes it. He leans back against the wall next to Nixfang and closes his eyes. Where is he? Cyrilda says while checking her bracelet. She's sitting in her office with Rowan, Sarah, Vera, and King Eldrin. He still has half an hour before the class for mages begins. Give him some time, King Eldrin says. But he hasn't answered any of my messages. He's normally very quick with his response. Cyrilda replies, maybe he's in a dungeon or something? The bracelets don't work in them, Sarah says, causing Cyrilda to nod. She then opens up Lorik's academy profile. As his master, she can open this up and see what he's up to anytime. She looks at the recent task he accepted. No, it said he accepted the urgent task in Iron Hollow 2 days ago. He wouldn't have gone to a dungeon during that, especially since it was an investigation task, Cyrilda says. That's strange. That task shouldn't take him this long. We agreed to only let the students go into the mines once. He wouldn't have spent 2 whole days in there, King Eldrin says, causing Cyrilda to stand up. I'm going to check on him. I'll send you 3 to the class first, and send Lorik as soon as I find him, Cyrilda says before reaching out. Rowan, Sarah, and Vera disappear from the room. They teleport to the Academy's mage class, held once a month. Cyrilda opens a space tunnel to Iron Hollow and disappears from her office. Iron Hollow is too far to teleport like she did for Sarah and the others. She arrives in the air above the Lord's mansion. Cyrilda falls down and lands in front of the knights guarding the gate. They each draw their swords, but relax when they see her uniform. What brings you here, Field Marshal? One of the knights asks. I'm looking for someone, but I need to speak with the Lord, Cyrilda replies. Of course, I'll lead the way. One of the knights says before unlocking the gate. He opens it and leads Cyrilda inside. Once inside, they head upstairs. The knight knocks on the door to the Lord's office. The Lord shouts for them to come in. The knight opens the door for Cyrilda, but doesn't follow her in. He shuts it and returns to his post after Cyrilda enters. Ironheart? What brings you here? The Lord asks, surprised upon seeing her. I'm looking for my disciple. He came here to complete the urgent task for you 2 days ago. He has a Fenrir familiar and uses 2 first echelon laws, so he's hard to miss, Cyrilda says, causing the Lord to go wide-eyed. He looks down before sighing. I'm afraid that won't be possible right now. That student is currently in treatment, the Lord says. Cyrilda narrows her eyes before stepping forward. She uses her space law to manipulate the space between them, so her one step brings her right in front of the Lord's desk. She places her palms onto the desk before looking the Lord in the eyes. What do you mean he's undergoing treatment? She asks coldly. I don't know. He went to investigate the mines. Then, later that day, the miners came to me saying he was bloody and barely breathing. I sent my knights and healers to retrieve him. He's here and stable now, but we don't know what happened. We investigated the mines and found a cavern. Inside, we found 3 of the missing miners, all dead. There's a device inside that repaired the walls of the cavern. We think the miners entered it, then it closed behind them. But there was something in there with them. We just don't know what. The bodies were covered in bite marks far too big for a human. Our plan is to wait for the student to wake up and hear what happened from him, the Lord explains. And what happened to the knights who were with him? Cyrilda asks, causing the Lord to look down again. Don't tell me you didn't send any. We had a deal, Cyrilda says while slamming her fist onto the desk. We send you aid to help with the disappearance, both in resources and personnel. But while we wait for the personnel to get here, you send knights with the students to ensure their safety as they get real-world experience. So why the hell were there no knights with him? Cyrilda almost shouts at him. The Lord remains silent, causing her to sigh. Before she can say anything else, someone knocks on the door. My lord, the student's awake, a voice shouts through the door. This isn't over, Cyrilda says before turning toward the door.